fucking Mary Sunjays and stuff over here, dude. Oh my God, bro.
This is Asinine Radio.
Yeah.
This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to one of their records. We get into the music, the lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between.
Sick.
And right now we are in easy hard season on the pod, and that's where we get into a band that we like, but we get into one of their lesser known records or a bad record, and that's what we're doing this week. So my name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell your friends, share all the posts, and that's it. That's all I got for the intro. What are we doing today, Jeff? Go.
We are doing the White Album by Weezer.
By the Weezers. By the Weezers. So
racist. This
record came out in 2016. Some people think this is their best record.
A lot of people think that.
A lot of younger people.
We're doing this.
Gen Zers think this record is their best. Yeah, that's exactly
stupiders.
We've had comments on old Weezer episodes saying how stupid we are for thinking that this is one of their worst records and whatever. You know, go listen to the rankings episode. We don't think that anymore. But anyway, so yeah, we're doing Weezer, White. Let's get into our origin story with the Weezers, get into first impressions, and then go from there. What do you got? Go.
Origin story with Weezer is a lot like the Blink origin story. Like how many fucking times I Blink like definitely a lot more than Weezer.
True.
But yeah, like how many times we have to say our origin story with Weezer. Ultimately, my origin story with White, I guess. Well, instead of like going to my origin story with Weezer because we've heard that 1,000 times, my origin story with White is every time a new Weezer drops, I'm gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to it.
Yep.
I didn't like this because it's just not what I wanted from Weezer. And at that time, 2016, that's just not an era of time when I was listening to a lot of music. That was already like post-kid, right? Like family stuff is coming into play.
Yeah.
So I just didn't give this, I honestly didn't give this a fair shake. And ever since then, they've released worse records like the Black Album.
Okay.
So
settle down.
I just never went back. And I never cared to go back because like they have a lot of records that are actually really, really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like 13 records that are really good and better than this. So like, why go back? So I will say like, I didn't give this a fair shake and it's been a long time coming to do this and I'm glad we did it, but this is not their best record.
No.
Not even fucking close. No. You stupid fucking dullards. It is not their best record. You dumb idiots.
Yeah. So my origin story with this record, I agree with you. I listen to every Weezer record as they come out, and I really loved Everything Will Be All Right in the End. The album that came out just before White in 2014. I was obsessed with that record. And, you know, spoilers, if you didn't listen to the rankings episode, that's my second favorite Weezer record. And your third favorite. So yeah, I was very excited when they announced that, we're going to do another self-titled record. It's going to be called White. It's going to have this like beachy theme, like a Beach Boys kind of thing. I was very, very excited. And yeah, when it came out, I was just so fucking disappointed. Like you go from Everything Is All Right. There's so many amazing things on that record. So many just great songs on that record. And then you drop White. You drop this fucking record. And you know that was my origin story with this record. I did not like it. Even the last time we did Weezer on the podcast, which was like a year and a half ago, I believe, I still didn't like White. This is like low. This is like bottom tier Weezer for me, and that's where we've gotten a lot of hate saying we're fucking idiots. We don't know what we're talking about. You need to fucking get over yourselves, old guys. You guys are fucking old. You just don't get it. Whatever. So fuck them. Who cares? But anyway, origin story.
It's true. It is true.
Listening to it this week, I enjoyed this record a whole lot more than I have. Really kind of just taking a deep dive into this. Lyrically, I think it's still pretty fucking stupid and still very generic, very superficial for the most part. But musically, there's some really fucking cool things here. And this is solid mid-tier Weezer. Solid mid-tier. So...
This is the best filler Weezer album that's ever been. Because every song on here really is filler. Like there's nothing that they haven't done before. There's nothing extraordinary. There's something I haven't heard before. But it's all fucking good. And some of it, like there's a lot of bangers here. I have a lot of bangers. So it is a good, great filler Weezer record.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I have no stinkers on this record, and we're gonna get into some. We did the deluxe version. We don't normally do the deluxe versions right away, but we did this time. And out of the 14 songs, so I'm not including that jacked up the jacked up remix version because that was
that
stupid.
song
With Pussy Riot and Vincent the Tantrum. I don't care.
It just sounds like a fucking like MGK sounding fucking song of jacked up. I hated that song.
MGK or
garbage.
MGMT? MGK
No,
or
Machine Gun
MGMT?
Kelly. Some
Okay.
stupid shit Machine Gun Kelly does.
Yeah, I just didn't care. So in the end, 14 songs we're gonna possibly get into. I have 5 bangers out of the 14. I got 5. And not to say, I mean, all the songs are good. There's not a bad song on this record, but 5 just really, really fucking good songs. Fuck it. Let's say 6. Let's just say 6. I'm going to say 6 because I'm going to throw Prom Night in there, even though kind of shouldn't. It's like a super deep cut, but I'll throw Prom Night in there. So 6 out of, yeah.
So Prom Night, you're 6.
No, it's not my 6.
Oh.
It'll be my 5. I have one song that's worse than Prom Night. So anyway, you have no stinkers. How many bangers did you have?
I mean, I guess like I didn't rank the bonus tracks as bangers, so I have 6 on the actual album. But I also think Prom Night's a banger.
Okay.
And I don't know if Last Days of Summer is a banger for me, but I really do like that song.
That's not a banger for me. It's not a banger for
like
me.
the song though.
So out of my 6, 2 of them are from the deluxe version, the bonus tracks, and then the other 4 are off the main record, the 10 songs. And this album's only like 32, 34 minutes, something like that. So it's a fairly short record, which is good. It's a good thing. But anyway,
do you like Friend of a Friend or I Love the USA?
I don't like I Love the USA. That is
so Friend of a Friend.
Friend of a Friend, yeah, is one of them.
Okay,
yes.
That's solid fucking Weezer right there.
It really is. Okay, let's get it. That's my 4B. That's my 4th banger.
Yeah. Do the bonus songs, get them out, and then we'll get into the main episode. Okay,
what do you got for
Prom Night and then Friend of a Friend? No, this is fucking solid Weezer. This is exactly.
Wait, are we talking Prom Night or Friend?
Actually, go to Prom Night too. Prom Night's cool because we have this on the vinyls.
Okay, yes,
we have this on the vinyls, and that's fun because this is a vinyl only track. You can't get this on Spotify.
Yeah.
You listen on YouTube and stuff, but like it's something that's like the Weezer fan club released it. I mean, they didn't release it, but like it was released through the Weezer fan club, and we got it I got mine for free, but I think you paid a little bit less than yours. Yours for free too?
Yeah, I got mine for free too.
Damn, that guy's wild.
So let's tell the story. There is a record store out in Arizona. Maybe like 2 years ago, somebody had come into that record store and dropped off all of their Weezer records. Like we're talking fan club shit. We're talking the best of the best Weezer. They sold to this record store owner. He started posting about it on his Facebook. And Jeff, who lives in Arizona, immediately went over there, dropped a lot of money on a lot of Weezer for not only for himself but for me as well. And at that time, he picked up the 7-inch for what was it? Was it Last Days of Summer on the A side, and then Prom Night was on the B side. He just threw it in for free because nobody's gonna buy it.
Spending a lot of
You're spending a lot of money, and then fast forward 2 years later. This is maybe 6 months ago when I was out there. We went to that same record store. He still had another copy of that 7-inch, and he was selling it for like $35. And you were asking about it. He's like, just take it. It's fine. Just take it.
Yeah.
Just fucking threw it in because it's been sitting there for 2 years.
I had never heard either of those songs before, but I was just like, I was in such a Weezer buying mood. And dude, I spent so much money. I bought like so much fucking Weezer stuff. Actually, like 90% of my Weezer collection came from just this. And I went there like 3 times in a week. I was like, all right, dude. This is before I owned the record store. Yeah. So like it was my money, not like the store's money where I'm buying for the store and just reselling or whatever. So like the money meant a little bit more. I was buying just so much. And I was like, fuck, man. Like I'm coming home with $600 in Weezer records. Like, oh, fuck. And I had never heard Last Days of Summer Prom Night. And like I do like Last Days of Summer. I think it's a good song. It's fun. But like, what I wanted to how I encourage you, because Prom Night's a fucking banger. It's a cool fucking song.
It is a really good song.
And it's a good little 2-track EP right there.
Yeah. one song on each side. No, it's a fantastic song. I mean, it's definitely more of a throwback to the earlier Weezer, even like more of like Everything Will Be All Right in the End. It's not as pop based as the rest of the White album is. So I get why it was left off of White. And honestly, it was probably more of a B-side from Everything Will Be All Right, those sessions, than anything else. It has the big heavy fucking drums in there. There's some cool fucking fills going in and out of the different parts, the different verses, choruses, things like that. But it's certainly an outlier in the context of this record. Still great, but fun story for us, at least, because we each got this like expensive fan club only EP for free, which is super fucking sick.
And we would have paid for it. Like, I would have paid this guy money for it. It's just, he's notorious for being so fucking nice, like to a fault.
Yeah, he's really nice guy. Should we give him a shout out?
I'll give you yeah, I mean, did you not say Double Nickels?
I didn't say it.
Records?
I didn't say it, but yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
I see people do his store all the time.
In Mesa, Arizona. So if you're in that area, it's a small shop, but he has a lot of stuff there. A lot of really good stuff. A lot of stuff for very, very, very cheap. So go check it out. Double Nickels Records or East Side Records. It's called as well. Great spot.
Good spot.
Yeah, so go check it out.
Pretty good. So yeah, that's, I guess, the bonus songs. You don't like I Love the USA?
Honestly, that is the worst song on the whole record.
Whoa.
Like, I mean, that's really...
It's a ballad, though. It's
honestly,
a piano-driven ballad.
I thought you
would
probably
like it.
A stinker. That's probably...
I thought you would like it.
Like, that's...
He also says fuck,
really
though. That's the first time we ever heard him say fuck on like a song.
Fuck? I don't care.
It was kind of fun. It was fun. Gabagool.
Fucking Silvio over here.
What's up with Silvio's? Like, is he like pinches?
He has no
nerve
neck.
or something?
Like, he has like no neck. He's like, yeah.
God, the guy's he's like the dorkiest character until you see him like jam with Bruce Springsteen and shit. And like, wow, dude, you're fucking cool, man. But like, he's such a dork, right? Doesn't he look like a dork?
A dork on The Sopranos. Yeah, and it's like, because Tammy and I are rewatching the show right now, and Silvio is her favorite character by far. She loves Silvio.
That's something.
She fucking loves him. But
out of everybody else,
Silvio is her favorite.
You can't like Silvio more than Paulie. This is I don't. That's unacceptable.
He does that with his fingers all the time.
You gotta like fucking Paulie.
With his fingers, he got the rings on like 3 of them. Hey, oh, He's got the wings. You know, the gray, just the white hair on the sides, the wings.
He's just so old too. It's like Tony's like dad. He's just so old. Oh.
Fucking love The Sopranos.
All right. Anyway, come on. Let's get back into the record here.
Yes. Prom night.
Do we have the rails? You clapped? I heard you clap.
I did. I clapped.
All right. Bonus tracks done.
Yeah. Oh, actually, we can talk about Friend of Friend, or was it Friend of a Friend?
Friend of a Friend.
It's a nice throwback to Green and Blue. Downstroke guitars, typical kind of Rivers vocals and everything like that. Drums kicking super hard. Very Ringo style. You know, he doesn't really do the Ringo thing too much, but he really, really does it with Friend of a Friend. And honestly, lyrically on this song and Prom Night, it's about teenage love. It's like, man, dude, you are 50 years old. You gotta...
Yeah.
I get what he's doing. Like, it's appealing to younger audiences. And honestly, that's why I think people love this record so much, is because his lyrics they're kind of not surface level, but they appeal to younger to teenagers and young adults in their early 20s, I should say, as we're like fucking 37.
The whole like concept of this record, right, is to be like this easy breezy, beautiful beach themed record, not Cover Girl. Oh, did you think Cover Girl when I said easy breezy, beautiful? It's like this beach theme going on here, and it's fine and stuff, but like Rivers, like he's like 50. You're right, he's like late 40s, and it's just weird. It comes off as like disingenuine and just not authentic. And he's not from LA, but like Weezer was formed in LA, so like I get it. But I think people that like this record are probably not from Southern California, and that's my hypothesis. That's my hypotenuse. That's what I think. I think the people that love this record are probably not from Southern California, because if you were, you would think this is a fucking joke. This is stupid. This is campy. This is goofy.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb, bro. This is like Malibu's Most Wanted, y'all, right? This is so goofy. It's a goofy fucking record. And this would have been cool coming off the coattails of like Green, right? Like, oh, that's cool. We'll do like a goofy Beats theme record, but not when you're like almost 50 years old. It just comes off as disingenuous. And I don't like the concept, but the songs match the aesthetic. And I do like that. It's a good cohesive sounding record. The lyrics match, everything matches. I think that's great. I just think the concept is dumb.
Yeah. And you also have to think like the era of this band. So they put out Everything Will Be All Right. Okay. So you have multiple eras of this band. So you have Red, which was popular. Pork and Beans was very popular. I think that was the only thing that they've ever won a Grammy for, was that particular song. Ratitude had some big singles off of it. Hurley, it was largely forgotten about. What do we have after Hurley? We had
Everything Will Be All Right.
Was it Everything? Was it after Hurley? Was Everything?
Right after Hurley, yeah.
So you had this downturn of the band. They put out they got Rick Ocasek back, thinking, oh, we have Rick back. This is going to be a lot. We're gonna have another Blue or another Green, another resurgence of the band, because that's what Rick did. I mean, that's honestly, those two records were bringing the band back, or bringing the band to the masses. But that didn't happen with Everything Is All Right. So to me, honestly, it felt like it was kind of a hit, or it was kind of a miss for the band. They were playing like club shows, like not club shows, but like theater shows, much smaller shows on that tour. And then after Everything Will Be All Right, they fired their management. They joined with a new management called Crush Management. They got with, I forgot the guy's name, their brand new manager, and he's a huge Weezer head. He was in a Weezer cover band back in the 90s or early 2000s or some shit like that. And he's like, well, I really want to help you guys out. I want to make the best record, whatever. And from that point on, it was like, let's make something let's try to make Weezer relevant again. And honestly, it happened. It happened with White, although you and I don't agree with it. It's not the greatest Weezer record, but it's resonated with a lot of people. And honestly, I think it's because they hired new people around them to help catapult them to the new generation, or I guess the new generation of people.
What's wild to me is that Weezer has not written a record that is just them since Red. Red is the last record that was just Weezer.
Crazy.
And it's interesting because that's when Rivers finally let other people write songs for him, and then he's never stopped.
Yeah.
And for what we did in the rankings and argued about over Red, whatever, take that for whatever it's worth. But Red was the last time that it was just a band. And ever since then, over half their discography has been written, or at least been written with other people. Yeah. So the eras of Weezer really is the Matt Sharp years, right?
Yeah. The 2.
Which is just 2. And then you get Green pretty much all the way up until
Make Believe.
You could stretch it. You could stretch it to Red if you wanted to. And then everything after Red, because that's an entirely different band. We are now pop Weezer. Yeah. In the sense that they're production is pop, songwriting is pop, everything about this band is pop without being an aggressive band. And that's what Everything Will Be All Right in the end is so unique, because it's the only one that's really good. It's the only really one that is truly, truly, really good.
Front to back.
It's not anything different. They try to do all these songs over and over, but Everything Will Be All Right is the only time where they truly actually make it work, where it does sound good.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, dude. Over half the discography was not Weezer.
Once again, it's I've talked about it many times before. It's that the heavy guitars, the heavy distorted guitars, downstrokes, all that kind of stuff, mixed with the really, really melodic vocals and harmonies and everything of Rivers and the rest of the band. I mean, that is Weezer. That was Weezer from Blue up until Green. Maladroit was its own weird, heavy record. Make Believe to me was the true turning point for the band, where okay, now let's focus on making a pop song. That's why you got Beverly Hills. That's why you got fucking Everyone's on drugs. Everyone's on drugs.
Yeah, your stupid fucking boy just ruined this band. Really, Rick Rubin ruined this band.
He didn't ruin the band.
Yeah, he did.
But
Imagine
anyway,
Rick Rubin had not ruined Weezer. Like everything will be out right now. Could have been a better record. Luckily, a better producer came in and made that record happen.
that's true. Rick Ocasek, rest in peace.
Perfect pop producer.
I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree. Rick Ocasek is the fifth member of this band. Like he's the guy who, God damn, dude, Rick Ocasek, underrated. I don't like the car. I really don't. I don't care for the cars that much.
It's all I can do.
Great pop music. Honestly, it's great pop music, but I don't care for that style of pop music.
The Cars' greatest hits is on your to-do list, which you have not done yet. Though. That's fine.
I have not done that. Yeah, I have not done it. Anyway, White Album. Let's get back into this.
Anyway, what's your 1B? You want to talk about 1Bs?
Let's. No, you. I mean, you always start first. So what's your 1B?
Okay. Do you want to get high? You want to get high? Do you want to get high? That's my 1B.
Fucking Towley over here. That's my 2B. Second banger. Number 2
Good,
banger.
good.
Number 2 banger. Good. More for me and you. So let's go. What do you got on this one?
Yeah. Do you want to get high? This is one of the 3 songs that was only written by Rivers on the main album.
Mm-hmm.
There was talks about this one being as old as 2001, and some parts of this song really do sound like they could be on the Green and the Green era.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this solo is fucking Pinkerton through and through. This is a perfect callback without just rehashing old shit. Love it. Love this song.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this has the big, like, heavy muted guitars. You hear a lot of that on Green. He's also what's cool too, vocally. Rivers strains his voice quite a bit. Like he's on
not this whole record. He does.
He does.
There's a lot of straining.
He does. It's not even like he's trying to hit a falsetto, because we all know he could hit the falsetto, but he's just kind of like he's trying to he's hitting that weird note where you could hear the grit in his voice, and it's fucking great. The beat is heavy, it's groovy. That bass line, super fucking solid. Some cool kind of droning guitar leads, and once again, the guitar solo, very Pinkerton, very demure. It's super fucking crunchy, very crunchy. I also kind of feel like this is a good throwback, a little bit of a throwback. Well, it's only one album before, but a throwback to Everything Will Be All Right. So it's a little bit of that. Like this song could have possibly been a demo or a B-side to Everything Will Be All Right on that record. This is a good record. I mean, this is a great song. Great fucking song.
It really is. So like this, it's supposed to be about Rivers like pill abuse, and it was because like the producer, somebody involved, had hurt his hand in a motorcycle accident and started taking pills, and that reminded Rivers of that one time he was strung out on pills. But he's talking about the same girl here. When he's saying, "Do you want to get high?" He's talking to the same girl from the song "Oh Girlfriend" from Green,
Yeah,
which is also the same girl in the song "Oh Girl," which is a demo that I don't think was ever recorded, like studio wise, but you can hear it live.
A live thing. Yeah,
but like the same girl. So like this is essentially a Green era song. That's what this is, through and through.
I also read too, this is like around the time that he was hanging out with Fred Durst a lot. So from Limp Bizkit. So that's kind of cool too. Fred Durst, underrated. That's true.
That's absolutely 100% true. Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit are 100% underrated.
Underrated, yes, correct.
Absolutely.
No, this is a really good song though. This is a really good song. A good kind of throwback song that I wouldn't say it doesn't belong on the record, but it is kind of an outlier song. And what I do like about White is that they have a little bit of everything on here. It's not just like Pacific Daydream. It's just like all pop stuff. Black was just like a pop kind of, a little bit of funk record. Like it was just kind of one thing. White though has a little bit of everything. It has a little bit of Ratitude, has a little bit of Pinkerton, a little bit of Blue, Everything Will Be All Right, Green. It has just a lot of shit that they were doing. This is a good kind of like greatest hits of their whole career. Honestly, that's what this record is.
Which is, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, but that's so fucking irritating when people think this is their best, because it's like, dude, they've done the sound so much better and explored this exact sound
better
over the course of like 2 albums sometimes.
In some way, you could say this is like the greatest hits of Weezer condensed into one album. You know what I mean? Like it's just stylistically,
with dumb lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, the lyrics are just whatever. In the end, Rivers besides like the first couple records, his lyrics are pretty just superficial. They really are. But I
Yeah.
get it. People like the lovey dovey stuff. They like, they can relate to a lot of this stuff, especially when you're 16, 17 years old. Fuck, man, you can relate to this. I get it. I totally get it.
Generic. There's generic stuff.
It's not generic. It's just like he knows how to.
Generic.
I suppose.
Like the album opens up with California Kids, right? Like this. I mean, that's my to-be. I love this song. I think it's such a fucking banger. It's such a stupid, cheesy, perfect Weezer pop song. Love it.
That's my 1B, but
is it really?
It's my 1B.
Dude, California Kids is so good. It's so
Should we get
good.
into this?
Yeah, fuck it.
All right.
Because this is like the thesis statement for the record. A, it tells you exactly what you're going to do, like what to expect. Here's a theme. Here's what we're talking about. And then it also tells you like don't expect too much, because like what you hear, what I'm saying, that's all you're going to get. And it's perfect. That's fine. You know, it's okay. But dude, literally it's a stupid fucking song. The whole record is stupid. But I like California Kids because it's telling you right up front.
Also, so this song was originally a single for a side project that Rivers had called Scott and Rivers. This is a Japanese side project where they did all the songs in Japanese.
Yeah.
And then he didn't rework it. He just did the lyrics in English on this one. And Scott is Scott Murphy from Alistair, which is like are they local here or are they East Coast? Or Alistair?
I don't know. Who the fuck cares about Hollister?
Well, I've wanted
not
to
Hollister, the clothing company, but
Alistair, the band. So they're actually on our to-do list on the podcast, because I know
from who?
Tammy, because Tammy loves Alistair, and we used to listen to this album or this one Alistair album a lot back in the day.
Yeah, the only other person I've ever known is Angel. Angel loved Alistair,
and the album's actually really good. That Alistair record is good. It's good, but anyway, this is the kind of the English version of this side project song. And no, it's solid, man. It's like this very, very pop punky thing, especially when it's the chorus. The chorus is just straight up pop punk. And I'm surprised you don't like it more. Honestly, I'm surprised you don't like it more. Okay. The ooey oos, come on. The ooey oos are so good too. The harmonies.
Dude, classic stuff's here. It's good classic Weezer. It does exactly what you want it to do. A very catchy beat. It builds to that chorus, which is super fun and choppy. It's just too on the nose. It's too on the nose.
Okay.
And it's fine. But like the LA life, man, I just don't give a fuck about the LA life.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear anybody sing about the LA life. I don't want to talk about beaches. Like, God damn, that's whatever you're singing about is not Southern California. So like,
I mean, you mentioned it earlier. I think the difference is you have Rivers, who comes from the East Coast. He was born in, I believe, raised in Connecticut. And he comes here to LA when he was 19 or something like that. And
yeah, like in the 80s, right? So 80s. Like bleeding into the 90s, where like Southern California was probably pretty fucking dope, if you're just on the beach at least. Like it's probably beautiful, and there probably wasn't that much traffic. But like, dude, LA sucks. Southern California sucks. Fuck all that shit.
Oh.
I don't want to hear songs about it.
Also, you and I were born and raised in Orange County, Southern California, so we have a much different view on the area than almost the entire country. I mean, honestly, you get somebody from fucking Iowa or Ohio or some shit like that, and they see a song like the Rivers write a song about this. All they're thinking about is not glitz and glamour, but just like beauty, just beautiful scenery and people and all this greatness. And it's like you and I mean, obviously you and I are pretty jaded. You moved out of California when you were in your early 30s. You know, we spent the best, or not the best, but we spent like our early 20s, like our wild years in the party scene in Orange County, LA, going to concerts, shows, all that kind of shit. So we have a much different view on the Southern California than people in Middle America or the East Coast.
I get it, and again, I'm still going to contend that the people that love this record are probably not from California or a beach or a coastal city. That's just what I think. Even though I should talk Southern California so much, like I wouldn't change it for the world. Growing up anywhere else other than Southern California, like fuck that, no way. Like the perfect place to grow up at, especially in our generation, where like we could go outside for hours on end and come home when the streetlights came on, and like you had to like memorize your neighbors' phone numbers and I don't know, dude, like taking the bus to the beach with your boogie boards and hanging out
Yeah.
all fucking day and like nobody, maybe my parents did like care or were scared or whatever, but like you always made it home.
Yeah, it's true.
Too many weirdos out now, man. Everybody's weird. Like I did like growing up in Southern California. I wouldn't change it, but it's just,
It's
man, Southern California turned its back on us.
I agree.
Turned its back on
I
us.
totally agree. I still live in Southern California. I would love to leave this area, but just my circumstances now are so good to where I don't
fucking
need
rent so cheap. Fuck yeah, dude.
exactly. That's why I'm not leaving. Where I live, my rent, no way I'm gonna fucking leave until I have to. So, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I would be long gone from Orange County. So, but once again, like you mentioned, I don't regret anything about growing up in Orange County. It was fucking amazing. It was fucking fantastic.
Great.
But also there's this thing of like making, especially LA. Like what it comes down to is like LA and Hollywood are the worst. They are the fucking worst places. Venice Beach, everybody like fucking thinks Venice Beach is fucking amazing. And like
garbage.
They dream about Venice Beach, but it's like Venice Beach is
literally garbage.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fucking disgusting. Venice Beach is terrible. Santa Monica,
toss it in the bin.
Santa Monica, okay, but otherwise, most of LA County, garbage. Like some of the valley's cool, but you know, once you go over the mountain and you're fucking in along PCH and shit, most of that it's garbage. It's bad. Long Beach, terrible.
Fuck it all.
Fuck it all.
No regrets. I'm staying in.
Wait.
You can bet.
Anyway. California kids.
That's what happens when you talk about a record that's super superficial, but it's still pretty good. There's still some bangers here. What's your 3B?
Go. All right. So what is your 3B? Your third banger here?
Girl, we got a good thing.
Girl, we got a good thing. That's my 6B. Let's get into it.
One of the 3 songs written only by Rivers.
Mm-hmm. And
I always like when they use their guitars to do the kind of like synth sounding swell.
Okay.
Like they started doing it on Get You.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, oh, we can do that, and they kind of perfected it as the years go on. I like that. I like that noise. I don't know what it's called, but I dig it. Great verse melody over that super chuggy metal sounding guitar riff.
Yeah.
It's bouncy and silly, but very fun. But I can't help but think like this is such a pity. That's every time this song just kept going. I was like, dude, this is such a pity. Like it's just about to go into it. Especially the part where he sings like we should get along with each other. I kept thinking like that's what we're going to go into right now. But that's cool, man. But it's cool because he also does the Brian May sound. Like his guitar solo sounds like something Brian May would do, and the brightness on the solo itself, like the tone, is exactly fucking Brian May, and I like it, and that's cool.
Yeah, it is very Brian May, huh? Yeah, it's bright. It's very bright sounding. And then it's also that solo too. It comes in after like this really cool drum breakdown. Like Pat does some like, I don't want to say busy for him, but something you don't normally hear from Weezer leading into that solo, which is also like it's super heavy coming from such a more pop rock oriented song. Because I mean, in the end, the song starts like with the acoustic guitar singing the sleigh bells through the entire song, which is cool. It's a nice touch. And then it kind of builds with the palm muted swingy guitar part in the verses. But
it's goofy. It's
goofy, but fun.
It's fun. I like it.
So I don't know.
This one stemmed from a demo that was going to be on Everything Will Be Alright in the End, but abandoned and then redone for White, and also like lyrically rewritten, return. So. And then this is the one. No, I didn't send you this one. Did I send you this one? Yeah, I did send you this one. No, I didn't send you this one.
You said what? I forgot what cover it was.
No, it was this
not
one.
Not cover. What demo? Was it this one?
Yeah.
So yeah, you sent me like an early demo of this song, but it was called something else. It was called what was it called? Oh, Codependent. That was the demo, and it was from Everything Will Be Alright in the End.
Yeah. So this song was supposed to be on that record under a different name with a different vibe because the whole thing was like codependent, like girl, we got a good thing going is kind of what you tell somebody in a relationship that's not working, but then like codependent is what you become after a while, right? Type of thing. That was like the concept behind the theme, I guess. But yeah, dude, that fucking the version I sent you is so much better than this one.
Oh,
I
it's
like this
way
one a
better.
lot, but it's a lot better.
Yeah, the one that you sent me, the demo, the codependent version, is it's way more electronic based, a little bit faster tempo wise. It's fucking good. It's honestly much better than this version. And they honestly they don't really sound that much alike. They're very very different songs.
Yeah, totally different songs.
It's fucking cool though. It's cool.
It's good. It's good.
That was a good find. That was a really good find. But in the end, it's just this is the sound that they're good at. Heavy guitars, 60s sounding, melodic 60s sounding vocals, some doo-wop kind of shit thrown in there. But typical Weezer. Nothing bad about
typical Weezer. That oh man, that's gross, but par for the course. Like typical Weezer pretty much sums up Weezer. Typical Weezer.
Typical Weezer.
Pretty much like Pinkerton is the only one that's not typical Weezer, but everything else is typical Weezer.
But that's another thing too. It's like you have these standout records. You have, obviously Blue and Pinkerton, which were the OGs, but then almost every record outside of that is trying to sound like Blue or Pinkerton. The only outliers would probably be Maladroit, Ratitude, and probably Everything Will Be All Right. Like those are the only three records.
Even Blue is typical Blue is typical Weezer.
Only because that's what we're basing everything off of.
Right, exactly. Like really the only thing they've done that is kind of the outlier is Pinkerton. Just like production wise, songwriting wise, everything else is just typical Weezer.
Typical Weezer.
Oh, I don't like that.
You hate Weezer.
But I do like it. I like him even more now because there's such the most like beige fucking little boxes in a row band that's ever existed. Well, I take that back. Foo Fighters are the most beige little boxes in a row band to ever existed. Yes. Weezer's a close second.
And we've seen Foo Fighters and Weezer at a concert.
That's something.
A lot of beige little boxes.
Foozer. What a cool tour name too. The Foozer tour.
Really cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Dope.
That was a fun show. Okay, so lyrically, it's just a happy song about being in love with a girl. We've all been there. Personally, we've all felt that way. I get it. He's writing to a younger audience. A 50-year-old man writing to a younger audience. That's fine. Constantly chasing the pop song. Constantly chasing the what's next in music. What's the next big hit? That's what Rivers is doing.
It really does.
It's not shade on him though. Like
it's almost like tragic, right? It's almost tragic because like Pinkerton really did a number on Rivers and like
destroyed him.
Like maybe we can like pretend like, oh, maybe it's just all kayfabe and like he's not really that, but like look at the report card, right? Like into green, Maladroit, make believe, and then like finally he lets people in on like the songwriting process on red, and then like the gates are open and they never put out a record again where there's not other songwriters there, unless you're doing like a big Teal. Obviously, there's not other songwriters because it's a covered album, but like they never did it again.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to me. That Pinkerton fucked him so hard, so much. And then you see like songs on White Album where he's singing about like his wife and like her trials and tribulations that she grew up with, and he's like he's all kind of like nervous at how the public is going to react to it and if they're going to say mean things to his wife, because like even like Rivers has said that I don't care if people say like oh, your dad's a jerk or something like that, but like if they say it about my wife then I could care about it, or if they say something about somebody else and I care about it, or if it hits like too close to home then I care about it. And like Rivers has always been a guy that's just he's just a dude, man. He's not a rock star, even though he's a rock star. Like he's not a rock star. He's just a dude.
Man. He's a very sensitive.
He's just a dude. Like I think we would be pretty fucking hurt if someone like attacked us publicly in a million viewer forum about like a personal thing, right? Like you would be hurt. Like I'd be fucking hurt. Like man, like what the fuck would you say that for? Like that's Rivers, man. He's just a dude.
Just a dude.
He's just a dude wearing his heart in his sleeve constantly, just getting shot down for it every turn. Every turn.
And okay, so I mean, since you touched upon it, the song that's related to his wife, or that he writes about his wife or for his wife, whatever you want to call it,
King of the World.
King of the World. This song musically, it's very pop punk heavy, especially in the intro.
Is it a banger?
It's not a banger, but it's a good song. This would be like a good B side for Everything Will Be All Right. It's a good B side for it. Just the chorus hits with, I mean, the intro, the chorus hits with a really, really heavy pop punk thing, super melodic vocals, really rad bass lines in the verse. But it's the lyrics that to me stand out, because this is him talking about, or this is him saying, to his wife, this is a song for his wife saying, no matter what you've been through in your past, what you're going through now, I'm always here for you. You have a shoulder to cry on. You have somebody to talk to. You can open up with me.
Super endearing.
It's beautiful. I mean, some of the things that he talks about, it's like, you don't have to be so on the nose about it. Like,
yeah,
you could throw in some metaphors. You could be a little bit more pretty about it, and lyrically, instead of being like, oh, the bombs drop on Hiroshima or whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, relax.
We all know your wife's Japanese. Like, I mean, we know you've been talking about how much you love Japanese girls since fucking Pinkerton. We know. So his wife Kyoto, they married like in the early 2000s, and so this song is for her and her growing up in Japan, with strict parents, and just different traditions, different values, different just lifestyle growing up in Japan compared to America. And he was saying like, you have somebody here for you, but it does come off weird. And then when you look at the Genius Lyrics, which is a very popular website for reading lyrics, the artist can actually leave annotations if they want. And Rivers does a lot for Weezer. He does a lot of annotations.
I think he's just trolling this entire time, especially this entire record, because his annotations are they're fucking worthless.
So I didn't read it. The only annotations that I read were the ones that Kyoto left. So his wife left annotations for this particular song, talking about different things he said. Well, this is what he's referring to. Like, yeah, it's like one line that's like kind of cheesy, but this is why he wrote this line. I was locked in the shed. My parents treated me this way. This is how I felt about growing up, reading about the atomic bomb blowing up the two cities in Japan, how fearful we were. Like, this is why he's writing about this and that. So it made the song seem a little bit less cheesy, and it made it feel a lot more heartfelt.
Yeah.
And
there was the one when Rivers wrote like something about like, you're not alone, like I can cry with you or something like that, and she had said like, this is my favorite part of the song or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice hearing this from Rivers or something like that. And that's when I was like, damn, that's cute.
I know. It
was
really
cute.
cool.
That's cute.
Like, yeah, it was really cool.
It's good. That's cute, man.
It was
50 years old, man. It was fucking cute. Like, don't sing to the 16-year-olds, man. Like, I want to hear you sing to your wife. I want to hear you sing something that means something to you. Don't sing to fucking 16-year-olds who grew up in rural Pennsylvania, who like long to go visit the sunny shores of California. Man, fuck that. I don't care. Nobody cares. I guess maybe people do care. I don't know. Like, do people care outside of California? I mean, maybe we're just so jaded, right?
We are.
People growing up in the rural areas of the Midwest. Do they really care about going to sunny California?
They do. And why do you think so many people travel here? Why do you think so many people travel here? We are 100% jaded growing up here. I mean, dude, think about it. Up from when I was like 5 years old until I was 26, 27, I had a Disneyland pass every single year. So I would go to Disneyland, even as a kid, I would go to Disneyland like maybe 50 times a year, at least 50 times a year. I would go to Disneyland. So it's like, but some people never go to Disneyland, or they go there once and it's like the best thing that they've ever done. But this is,
I didn't go till we got our passes, like in the high school era.
Yeah, we were still 17. We're 17.
Yeah, but like that's when I started going a lot. It's like $150.
That's the point. It's like it's 10, 15 minutes away from where we live. So it's like we could just go there. You don't pay that much money for a year pass, and you can go. It's a playground essentially. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, it was a playground. Like literally, my fucking my a good friend of mine growing up, he used to live with his grandparents, and they lived 5 minutes from Disneyland. I would spend the week, like during Christmas vacation or spring break, I would spend the week at his house, and we would go to Disney. His grandpa would drive us over to Disneyland every single day at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'd spend 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. at night. We'd spend all day at Disneyland, and that was our babysitter. Disneyland was our babysitter.
A good babysitter though.
And it's like if we got tired or bored, we just go sit on the train that goes around the entire park.
Yeah, take a break.
Just take a break for like an hour, hour and a half. Just we would
It's a
fall
good
asleep.
movie.
Yeah, it was just like that was our babysitter. It was fucking crazy.
I get it.
Anyway,
I get it. Okay, well, that's cool. King of the World, my 4B. That's all right. You hated it.
no, I like it. I like it. Anyway, what else we got here? What else we got here?
I got more B's. I got at
Some more
least
B's.
2 more B's. Summery Lane and Drunk Dory, 5B.
Neither of the. Did we talk about King of the? Yeah, we talked about King of the World. So I'm good with my bangers. So let's get. What are the other songs?
You're done with bangers?
I'm done with bangers. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, Summery Lane and Drunk Dory. That's my 5B.
Okay.
This is one of I guess the last of the 3 songs only written by Rivers. This is catchy. This is catchy, silly chord progression. Just throwing a bunch of like Rivers, like his little O's over any progression, and we'll be happy. Dating back to fucking Blue Album, to Green. Just do that. We're good. These melodies date back to like early 2000s with this one. And apparently this is kind of a fun little tidbit, but the chord progression was lifted from the song Walk Away Renee by the Left Bank.
That who's Left Bank?
Kind of like Left Bank's kind of like a 60s, kind of like almost like psychedelic pop band.
Okay.
But what's interesting too about them is that Renee, my wife Renee, she's named after that song, Walk Away Renee.
No shit. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what she's named after, is that song by the Left Bank.
Damn. Okay.
Pretty wild. Rivers
How it comes
said
full
that.
circle, right?
Yeah, always back to Weezer. Rivers had said that he listens to actually I didn't know this until I read this week. Rivers said that when he listens to Spotify, he makes like random playlists. He's like, oh, that's a cool chord progression. I like that. Here's my weird, quirky chord progression playlist. Or like, ooh, I like the way that bridge sounded in this song. Here's my weird sounding bridge playlist. Or I like whatever the fuck it is, whatever quirky specific thing that he does, he just saves random shit on Spotify. Like I would like to see Rivers end of the year wrapped on Spotify to see how much he fucking listens to.
Does he not make those playlists public? I feel like he would. He's pretty transparent with the fans. Even when they're like even when he gets negative feedback, I feel like he still puts everything out there. So I'm surprised.
It is true. I've never pursued it to see if he does like publish his Spotify thing or his Wrapped.
Well, not even the Wrapped, but just the playlists. He's got to post the playlist, I'd imagine.
I mean, like he's been pretty busy doing like riverscuomo.com and like posting the thousands of demos that he had, and the whole Weezify thing.
Yeah, which I bought. I bought one of those bundles too, where there's like 500 songs. I bought the beginning years up through Green, and there's like hundreds of songs.
I mean, like, to be fair, like most of the songs are very similar, just a different key, a different progression, a different whatever. But like, there's probably a lot of 20-second songs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we shared the password info too at some point when I forgot what it was.
I'll resend it to you.
But yeah, this is also weird. This is also Rivers' favorite song on the record. Supposedly. Really? What he said. Yeah. He likes this one a lot. Summer Lane and Drunk Dory. Lyrically, I think this is fucking hilarious. He got the name from he was at his kid's school and he heard moms talking and they were talking about like the teacher Elaine. Like, oh yeah, Summer Elaine versus like School Year Elaine. And one of the moms was like, oh yeah, my husband has a name for me too, like Drunk Dory versus Sober Dory. It's like, damn, dude,
it's
so like
apparent. It's like very,
but it's also very voyeur, right? Like it's just so fucking creepy. And apparently he credited them in the liner notes too as like a special thanks. It's like, I do believe the story, but it's like, that's par for the course for Rivers. Just fucking weird, dude. Just like a voyeur,
dude. A little bit creepy.
He's a little
bit creepy of a dude. Like you're kind of like, there are some moments with Rivers where you're like, damn, dude, is he kind of like an incel? Is he kind of like a
yeah?
I mean, once again, a voyeur. Like he does some weird shit, or his lyrics come off as very weird, kind of creepy.
He's just weird, and it's not. I don't think there's any more like complex thing that we should dig into, and maybe he's like a serial killer or something. But like he's definitely he's definitely just kind of weird.
So
At the same time, all those weird shows that Renee watches and probably Tammy, like these are the people that are serial killers.
yeah, there's that.
So,
So
but I don't think he is.
there's a couple things I want to talk about this song, and then I want to get into it, not a tangent, but something else I read about the making of this record. So, and if I forget, please remind me about the making of the record. Musically, I know why you like this song a lot. It's fucking Everclear. That riff is an Everclear riff. It sounds like everything you've heard on.
Din, 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 din,
Yeah, it's very art in the '90s. It's a very art riff from the '90s. That's why you like
it. Really is, huh?
Palm muted,
Din, din,
palm
din.
muted.
Like slightly like open up the palm mutes a little bit to let the notes ring out a little bit and then close it back up.
Yep. Yeah. It's very, very Everclear. So that's why you like this song. Lyrically, I got something a little bit different lyrically, and I like it. I like what my interpretation I enjoyed, because I feel like a lot of boys, a lot of guys felt this way, especially when they were teenagers. This song is about like a short-lived crush, somebody that you went to summer camp with, that like a girl that you were infatuated with at summer camp, a girl that you were like your neighbor for that summer, or somebody for like a month or two, that you were just infatuated with, and then you kind of forget about, or you don't forget about, but they leave your life, you never see them again. But every once in a while you think about like, man, I loved her. Like I was so in love with her. I had such a huge crush on her. I wonder what happened to her. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just this kind of like, what is it? Not, I don't know what the word is, but it's just
that's playing into nostalgia, like straight up,
and that's what this song is. Like, yeah. And that's what I got with, like, I know what I understand. I understand where he came up with the title of the song, but the way I interpreted it was Summer Elaine. Oh, this is the girl I was in love with in the summer, Elaine. This girl named Dory, she was really drunk when I met her that one night. We were at a party, or I met her at a party. She was really drunk, but I never saw her again. I never got her number. I never got to see her again. So it's like, it's these random girls that are like a fleeting moment that don't mean anything to you, but you were just so infatuated for a very, very short amount of time. And we've all had that moment. We've all had that girl that we've just been not obsessed with, but just like infatuated with.
Yeah, you're essentially like time stamping a memory with a name and an adjective, right? Like the summer, like for me, like the Toy Patch is so close to my heart because like that summer of camp, Kelly was like the first girl that I was like really infatuated with, and so like I can stamp Toy Patch with like Camp Fox Kelly, or like Camp Fox fucking whatever Kelly, whatever the fuck it is, because like I'll never forget that because it just brings you back. And like like sometimes you wonder like I wonder what happened to her. You don't care that much because it's like you've moved on, but like you still think about it from time to time, especially when you hear that record.
Yeah, especially if it's like a happy memory.
I get it.
You remember, especially if it's a happy memory. It's like, man, that was fun. That was nice. Like, I don't know.
It's cool.
It's a nostalgic thing, certainly. Now, jumping to the making of this record.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And
I forgot what you told me to tell you.
And kind of like going off of like the creepiness of Rivers, or weirdness of Rivers. So one thing he decided to do during the making of this record was to download Tinder. Mind you, this man has been married for over 10 years, has a couple kids with his wife, and he decides to download Twitter and to get song ideas for this record. But it's like, come on, man. Like, it's either you are completely innocent and you have no ill intentions toward your wife or your relationship, that you're literally just getting song ideas, or it's something a little bit more like, I'm a little skeevy, a little, you know what I mean? It's just like, and to also make it so public, like also making it as public as he did. Like he went out many times and said, oh yes, I downloaded Tinder because I wanted song ideas. Like that's almost like overcompensating.
Yeah.
Bit. So it's like, come on, guy.
And like, I would want to like disagree. Like, no, this is because, but like, he has a song called Tired of Sex. The opening track of fucking Pinkerton is him saying like how tired he is of being so popular. Oh, I'm so tired of being fucking popular and women throwing themselves at me. Like, fuck off, dude. Like you even if he's on the spectrum in some capacity, he's still like an intelligent dude who went to Harvard, who graduated, who like is a very smart guy. you know what you're doing, my guy. You know what's happening. Like, get the fuck out of
100%.
here. I don't believe that. You know what is happening here. So if you want to play it off like it's just this art thing, go for it. But you're not fooling anybody.
I know. Every time I read it, I thought, dude, who is he fooling? I guess maybe he's fooling his wife, but there's no.
Fooling me.
God, just the over.
Yeah,
It was really the overcompensation of it. Like, you don't even have to say you downloaded. Why are you telling people this? Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you yelling at me? Yeah, and he's been a long fan favorite of like anonymity.
Anonymity.
I feel like fucking Finding Nemo and like in the scene Enemy. But he's been a long favorite of being anonymous online when he was posting like the Weezer chat boards, like in the early 2000s stuff. Like he would be the one to come in and then stir the pot and be like, oh, this Weezer song sucks, and to see how people react, if they agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Like he's always been like, so maybe, I don't know, maybe it fucking kind of is like a thing. Like he's just so fucked up from Pinkerton that it ruined his psyche for forever. I don't know. The guy's so weird, man. The guy's such an enigma.
He is. I like the guy a lot. I really do, and I love his music. But
I don't think it's like a kayfabe thing, because like who can possibly put on the kayfabe like this for decades? Like everybody slips up from time to time, right? And then when we saw him, what do you do? We yelled at his name. We saw him live or in the parking lot.
He stopped because he was walking out of the bus. We yelled his name. He stopped dead in his tracks, looked at us for like a good 2-3 seconds, looked at us, fucking bolted. He was gone
and ran
like we were gonna chase him. We
What?
were behind a giant chain link fence. Like he just like fucking bolted to the fucking arena. But
It's
fucking
just so
Pat
fucking
came over.
weird.
Pat came over and talked with us and all that kind of shit. Like, I don't know.
It's just so weird.
He's
so
weird.
bizarre. He's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Genius. Musically genius.
I really do think he is an absolute like musical genius. I think he understands like theory on like a doctorate level. I think he understands like music in like a Beethoven sense. Like he can hear something and then just like extrapolate so much from that one thing. And he fronts a band that is so fucking generic. That is so, what do we call it over here? Like basic Weezer or some shit like that. What do we say like 5 minutes ago? Generic Weezer or something like that. I don't fucking, we called it.
I don't remember what we called it.
Remember we talked about this like 5 minutes ago?
Yes, I remember, but
we said something. It was like, oh, that really is Weezer. God damn, like generic Weezer, basic
was,
Weezer, formulaic Weezer, like all those.
No,
things
it was basic. I think we just said basic Weezer, like, right? I don't even. It doesn't.
Like, Weezer is always fucking basic, dude. It's always basic, and it's just like this guy, dude. He shreds. He's such a fucking good guitarist.
Great guitar player. Wait, what?
But like you would never guitarist. I say he's a fucking fantastic guitarist. Yeah, like he's not just like good. Like Billy Joel's like a Billy Joel with an L. He's a really good guitar player, right? Like really, really good. But like Rivers is on a different level. Like he understands music on a different fucking level. It's like professorial. He should be teaching somewhere. He should be teaching musical theory.
I agree. I think he understands. Yeah, he understands theory. He understands everything technical. He's like a perfect technical musician, but he also understands the pop sensibilities so fucking well. The only problem is sometimes he doesn't know how to integrate both of those things into a single album or a single song, and that's where you get albums like White, like Pacific Daydream. Like he doesn't know which way to go, but then you get albums like Everything Will Be All Right. Like he's perfectly encapsulated the technical, the songwriting, the pop aspects of it into a single album. Like he can honestly do it all. Like it's crazy how talented this motherfucker is. He's so
talented. I just think he's so far he's so far in his own head that he can't. I don't think he's ever going to change.
No, I don't.
And I think that it still stems from like the Pinkerton stuff, right? Like we talked about like Buck Owens, is like his boy Don died, right? He was never the same after.
Yeah.
I think like Pinkerton like fundamentally changed, like a heroin addict changes like the chemical balance in your brain. Like Pinkerton changed him so fucking much. Not Pinkerton, but the backlash from Pinkerton changed him so much that he will never recover.
Yeah. And also like kind of throwing it back to the early days too, prior to or the making of Blue, or even prior to Blue. He moves to LA. He's in a few different bands, and they're just kind of not going anywhere. Then he links up obviously with Pat, Matt, and Jason Cropper to form what is like solidifies Weezer. They do all of Blue. Jason has his fucking breakdown because his wife gets pregnant, and instead of this is like kind of how calculated he is. Like he knows that like we either kind of accept Jason for what he is and just kind of like deal with it, and it's probably going to implode and it's going to be a huge shit show, or we could fire him now, even though we love him to death. We could fire him now and we take a business approach to this and blow up because he was so confident in the songs. They decided to turn on Jason. Matt and Rivers decided to turn on Jason, fire him, and then Blue came out and then just blew up. I mean, it was enormous. That record was insanely popular.
Yeah.
Like the guy knows.
Yeah.
Honestly, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows the trends, and he constantly follows the trends. But unfortunately, maybe he gets in his own head. Like he's such a genius, he gets in his own head and he doesn't quite know. That's why he hires the outside songwriters. I don't know. I'm just fucking talking. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, you're right though. Like it's bizarre because the only time that he didn't challenge like the pop sensibilities, or he didn't challenge like the societal norms of what like a top 40 hit should sound like, was on Pinkerton. And then he was so mad that everybody hated it. Like, dude, like you formed a band because his original band, like that he wanted to be, was like a heavy metal band, like a speed metal thing, and he shredded guitar and had long hair, but like he cut the hair, like embraced the glasses and became like the nerd, and then embraced that like pop sound, but then gets mad when like Pinkerton fails. Like, are you fucking stupid? What are you talking about? So maybe it is like a whole fucking kayfabe thing.
Who knows?
I don't know. It's fucking weird. He's fucking weird.
He's a weird dude, but we love him.
Of course we love him.
Until it comes out that he does something fucking weird and pervy and gross. But yeah, at this point,
that'd be devastating.
I know it would be. He's one of those guys. It's like when you hear like, oh my God, like there's some crazy allegations or he did something super fucked up. It's like Rivers, Tom DeLonge. Like we never want to see it with these guys.
No.
Hopefully it never fucking happens. But
no.
Fucking.
It'd be devastating. It would be devastating.
It would be terrible. Anyway, there was one other song you wanted to talk about, right?
I mean, I'm good with. I mean, just run through them real quick and call it a day.
Yeah, we have like 3 songs left.
We have 5 songs left.
Do really that many? Okay,
Winning our sales.
Okay, yeah.
Like we've heard this fucking song. This is a fun song. Yeah. Whatever.
We've heard it a million times. Yeah.
Thank God for Girls. Like, come on, dude. This is stupid. He's really trying to lean into that rap kind of like singing thing that they've been doing later in his career, and it's just like.
Also, it's
you know what?
This song's throwing it back to Ratitude. This is a Ratitude song. It's fine.
No, you're right. Like,
not my favorite.
It's not different. Not
my favorite Weezer, but it's certainly something that he was doing on Ratitude.
Yeah. LA Girls. This is the one where he's like straining his vocals, and I like when he does that.
Yeah.
And I think like the only time we ever heard like a full like Freddie Mercury like 4-octave range of Rivers is on Hash Pipe, right? Like you really get the low end, especially and then like the high falsetto thing.
Yeah. That's
Otherwise,
true.
I don't know. Like he has a good range. He just doesn't like utilize all of it, because in pop music you don't do that. You stick to kind of like the flat line there. But this is a Brian song. Brian Bell wrote this one, and it was supposed to be on a relationship album, which I just don't fucking care about the relationship. I never
really cared about the relationship either.
I don't like Brian. I don't like Brian's like songwriting. I don't like his singing. I think it's so generic. But it's fine. It's fine.
Very 60s kind of doo-wop kind of thing he's doing, but with the big heavy guitars. So it has this like cool kind of pretty sounding feel to it, kind of romantic feel to it. Good. It's good.
Jacked Up. You like Jacked Up?
Jacked Up was. I mean, it's fine. It's like a piano driven song,
It's a good song.
pop sounding drum tone, which I'm not really into. I mean, in the end, this is a pop. This is just a straight up pop song, and that's why it was remixed or redone with Fits in the Tantrums and Pussy Riot. Whatever, it's fine.
And then Endless Bummer, which I think is a cool way to end the record on that song title.
Yeah.
It's just like, this song just takes too long, dude. It's a slow burn. It basically leads up to like that last minute of the song, which is fine because it's an ender, but like, dude, it just takes too long, man.
It does.
If you name a track Endless Bummer, like as a clear nod to Endless Summer, like it better be good. It better be fucking good.
Agreed. I mean, what is it, like 3.5 minutes of just like this acoustic thing? And then, the last minute 20, it's just bombastic, loud, just solo.
And a rad solo.
It's cool, but it's just like you gotta pick, or you gotta like build. You gotta make like an actual kind of like rising action peak, and then just kind of round it out. But it's just like, it's acoustic, then it's loud, and that's it. Like they should have done. They honestly, for a closer, they should have just made it all acoustic. Cut it to 3 minutes. You're good.
Like I thought the same thing. I was like, dude, there's nothing that like screams Southern California more than like bonfires, right? Like everybody who goes to high school, or everybody who goes to fucking school in Southern California, ends up at the beach in a bonfire, doing a bonfire with whoever you're going to do it with.
10 people.
Like, there's
30
nothing
people.
that could have ended this record better than like a bonfire camp song.
I agree.
Come on, man.
I agree.
Fuck yeah.
The waves crashing, dude. I haven't been to a bonfire.
Like that outro, like the waves crashing and like end it like that.
God, that made me like feel so nostalgic. Like just
so safe, huh?
God damn, like being like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, the fire's still kind of raging, but you could hear all the waves crashing behind you, and everybody's just kind of like chatting, and everybody's having a good time. God damn, dude. Bonfires when we were in high school were fucking. Especially
the song opens up with that fucking that like people like kind of like calling each other, and like you can hear like the breeze coming in, the seagulls.
Yeah.
Like if the record opens like that, why not close it like that?
I know. It would have made more sense too, because it's like obviously seagulls aren't out at night, but it's like Endless Bummer, like end it like at night. So you have the like you can hear like the fire crackling, the waves crashing in the background. But once again, Rivers did not grow up in Southern California. He grew up on the East Coast. Like he doesn't understand, like that's another thing with this record too. Like, okay, management wanted him to make a Beach Boys-esque record, a Beach Boys inspired record, but the guy's not from California. He's not from Southern California, Huntington Beach. He's not from here. He doesn't like God, it feels so gatekeepy talking about it right now, but it's like this isn't it, I mean
only a server knows how it feels.
It's so stupid. But also like people will say that this record is like it's like the only other concept record they've ever done outside of Pinkerton. But it's like, dude, I don't see the concept record. You could like, if you're trying to make a Beach Boys-esque record, there's so many like other ways you could have gone concept wise that would have made this way more nostalgic and honestly more appetizing to people who don't live in California. But you're a poser. God, I don't want to call him a poser, but he is a poser.
You just say he's a fucking poser. This is a poser record. Like the Beach Boys, only one of them served.
Yeah,
like fucking A, man. Hawthorne, get the fuck out of
here.
And
he was like the first one to die when he was the Manson guy, right? The guy who was friends with Manson.
No, he drowned.
Oh, he drowned, but he was friends with
yeah, he was friends with Manson. Like Dennis Wilson brought Manson to like one of the recording sessions, and Brian's like, this guy's weird. I don't like him. I don't know what I don't like about him, but I don't want him here again. Yeah.
But I kind of wonder though, with that story where Brian Wilson was like, I don't like him that much. I wonder how much of that was like after the fact.
No, like it was a well-known fact that Brian just didn't like anybody. Like he just didn't want anybody in the recording sessions. And I don't think he disliked Manson because he had like an aura about him. He just didn't like Manson because like at the time Dennis was wild and then just not listening to what Brian wanted him to do, and Brian was just trying to write music, and that's a whole. I'm making the Beach Boy thing. We do Beach Boys, but
we will, yeah, someday. We still have not done the Beach Boys. on the podcast. We've never ever done.
That's a big undertaking. That's a big undertaking.
8 years. Over 8 years we've done this podcast. We have never done.
We're scared. We're scared. Don't be
It's
scared
like
no
jazz
more.
record. We've never done a jazz record. Never done a classic.
That's way too scary. I'm too scared for that. I'm not scared of the Beach Boys. I'm scared of jazz.
I agree. So let's move on. I love the U.S. Done that. Yeah, we've done everything, right?
Yeah, we're done.
No, we haven't done fake smiles and nervous laughter.
Oh, the one that second to fucking last bonus track.
Yeah, who cares? I don't want to.
I mean, I don't care either.
So let's give our final thoughts. Wrap up the record. Rate the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. What do you got? Go.
Like, I get it. If somebody wrote a whole concept album about being on the moon, I would probably be like, oh, that's pretty cool because I've never been to the moon and it'd be cool to live on the moon because I don't fucking know what it's like to live on the moon. I guess maybe we're just jaded, growing up in Southern California. This album it's fucking cheesy. It's cheesy in a way that the Beach Boys were cheesy 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. I give them a pass because they were cheesy 50 fucking years ago. Surfing Safari, Surfing USA, Surf.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. This is silly, dude. This is dumb. The lyrics are not deep. They're not complex. Yes, this is a concept record, I guess, because everything matches the most generic possible concept you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that they could have just done so much better. Even we said just the outro alone. If you're opening up the record with the seagulls and the waves crashing and kind of that lighthearted, that ding ding ding, little bells into the chimes, or you're easing yourself into it, ease yourself out of it. Have the crackle of the bonfire, the waves crashing, ease out of it. It's just a wasted opportunity. And I think that really does stem from the fact that fuck it, dude, gatekeeping. You just don't know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Only a surfer knows the feeling. Billabong, straight up.
Dumb. It's so dumb.
Don't give a fuck anymore because this is silly. This is silly boy talk.
Yeah.
And the people that think this is good, people that think this is top tier Weezer are young and not from California. Straight up. Straight up. Cut.
Yeah,
this is still 2 out of 3. This is still a 2 out of 3 record. Fuck yeah. I'm going to listen to this over and over. And I would have ranked this probably a 1.25 in past rankings. So you got me on this one. You got me. This will never be, I don't think this will ever be above a 2 unless I completely miss something, which I don't ever miss anything. Unless that happens, then this will go up, but this will never be above a 2 for me. This is a solid 2 through and through. I will listen to it again. I will buy this in the vinyls. It's a fun record. It's not a great record. When I say buy in the vinyls, I'll order through our distributor because it's cheap.
Yeah, it's fair. I think you get it for $18 even on Amazon or some shit.
It's 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. That's it.
All right. So yeah, with me on this one, it's a good it's a great pop record. I get why it's resonated with younger people, Gen Z people. I mean, we're 37, so people in the early 20s, late teens. I get why it resonates lyrically. It's a young love. I totally fucking get it. The pop sensibilities. That kind of adds to the genius of Rivers. He's able, like we talked about briefly, he's able to relate to people back in the 90s, to people in the mid 2000s with Make Believe, which Make Believe was a huge fucking record, to White Album 10 years later or 11 years later in 2016. So it's pretty remarkable. Blue Pinkerton, Make Believe to White Album. Pretty remarkable. Once again, Rivers is a genius. This is a great record. It doesn't quite resonate with me the same way as Pinkerton, some of the other stuff. Not only nostalgically, but I think musically, I don't think this is Rivers' strongest effort. But still solid. 2 out of 3 for me as well. 2 out of 3. I would get this on vinyl. I mean, this, like I said, when we were doing the rankings, this is where I began getting this stuff on vinyl. So White and everything. So I ranked White, the White Album, number 12. Everything from here on out, I'm gonna get on vinyl if I don't already have it.
Do you think and I know the answer. I'm being facetious, I guess. But do you think outside of Blue, Pinkerton, and Everything Will Be All Right in the End, if it wasn't Weezer that did that album, we wouldn't give a shit?
Probably not. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think I would have cared enough, but because of the history, not just our history, but the history of the band, and like I mentioned, being able to identify with multiple generations. Because I mean, really, mid
But
'90s,
in either album, like Red, Make Believe, Green,
yeah,
Maladroit, like if it wasn't Weezer, do you think we would care as much about those records?
probably not. But the one thing is that Rivers has a distinct sound. It's his voice, it's his phrasing.
It's the way he plays his guitar too, like how generic it is, but he just like he knows exactly when to throw in like a weird lead. Like, oh, cool, that's what Weezer does.
There's enough flair in there to keep you hooked.
And he's so fucking formulaic. Like he has databases based on like syllables, like what rhymes with other words to like be like a perfect pop song. Like the guy is so formulaic, and
Yeah, he created
anybody else
like
shit on so
he
much.
created like an Excel fucking document with like phrases that he likes, and then like, okay, I could plug this in here, I could plug that in there. It's so fucking scientific, but that adds to like his genius and craziness all at the same time. Like the guy's
eccentric.
crazy.
It's
He's
fucking weird.
extremely eccentric. Yes, exactly. Oy. Anyway, so that's all we have.
3 all around, baby.
That's all we have for this episode. Easy Hard Season continues. We are now halfway through Easy Hard Season on the podcast. We got two albums left, or 2 bands left. We're gonna keep it secret for now. Gonna keep it secret. So thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Tell your friends, share all the posts, and that's it. That's all.
Defect.